Welcome back to the Data Protection Diaries. Welcome back to the vlog. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get into the industry in general. So we get a lot of questions both from here, from people we know, certainly people coming in and talking to me on LinkedIn and a variety of other places saying, interested in a job in data protection. How do I go about it? What is the best career path? Is there anything that I should be doing? And also, what kind of person suits this kind of role? As always, if you find this video useful, if you find this content interesting, please do make sure that you hit that like button. Comment down below if you want to get involved in the conversation, but of course make sure that you are subscribing to the channel as well. We are creeping along at about 547. It'd be lovely to get to 600 subscribers by the summer, and obviously the closer we can get to 1,000 the better. But anyway, it's enough of that waffle. Let's get on with what we want to talk about today. Data protection as an industry, it is pretty fast growing. Go back 2 or 3 years, especially before the GDPR came into force, and yeah, people were talking about it. The GDPR obviously piqued people's interest, but it wasn't really a mainstream industry. That certainly wasn't like a mainstream job role. You wouldn't have seen a lot of jobs online in relation to data protection. You probably would have seen jobs around information governance, so especially in the healthcare sector, especially within the NHS, and that's actually where my career started, was in information governance. But there were very few companies that would have a need for somebody in-house to deliver them a data protection role. It was very much something that was focused around lawyers and around legal teams. To fast forward to today, the world is a very, very different place. Obviously, under the GDPR, there is a requirement for some organisations to appoint a data protection officer. Those individuals, those roles, those people obviously need support, and that's brought along with it its own different level of careers through privacy managers, data protection managers, data protection assistants, data protection analysts, privacy analysts. All these kind of different roles and different team structures have now started to grow out underneath that sort of data protection officer banner. Question that I often get asked, and certainly a lot of people that we liaise with in our Slack groups and other sort of social places that we're in, is people want to come into the industry, so people are interested in getting involved in data protection, and how do they do that? How best to go about that? Now, the short answer is, at the minute, there isn't really any kind of defined route that anybody can take. It's the same sort of challenge that is being faced within the cybersecurity industry, where what tends to happen is people tend to see a particular role, something like a data protection officer or a data protection manager, and then that's the kind of role that they want to go for. People tend to be at a particular point in their career where they are particularly comfortable with a certain level of salary. And obviously they're looking to move into a job that reflects that salary and reflects the lifestyle that they're living on, the money that they're currently being earned. The challenge with that is obviously that to be able to do this job and to be able to work in data protection, you obviously have to have experience, and in some cases you also have to have qualifications. So at the minute, there isn't really a defined path that anyone can go through before they can sort of take on a data protection based role. What do we do about that? Well, if you're looking to get involved in the industry, if you're looking to get involved in data protection, then there are a number of things that I would always suggest that somebody starts to look at first. First up is make sure that you're looking within inside your own organisation. So if you're working in-house, maybe you're in compliance, maybe you're in risk management, maybe you're in sales, but you want to make that move over, have a look within your organisation. Is there already an established data protection team in place? Is there anybody already doing the role? Can you go and introduce yourself? Can you introduce your interest in that particular position or just in the sector in general? And maybe you can start doing some shadowing. You can start understanding what data protection means for your business. And that's often a really, really good place to start. You can also, of course, look at qualifications. You can look at courses. There's a whole host of information about data protection in general, of course, available on the ICO website. There's a lot of free information online. There's a lot of online events that you can attend, things like PrivSec Global. And there's a lot of paid for courses that you can also do if you want to learn more about data protection. A couple of the big ones are obviously the BCS Data Protection Practitioner Certificate, or BCS Certificate in Data Protection, I think it's now called, and obviously the CIPPE from the IAPP. There are also study groups that surround those qualifications, and you'll find those on LinkedIn and various other places where you can start to learn more about what it means. Again, that's good for the theory side of things and understanding the nuances and the regulation and the legalistic requirements, but you're still going to need to be able to develop that experience somewhere. There are opportunities at the minute to join certain mentorship programs. Again, if you're having a look on LinkedIn, if you're looking for people like Tash Whitaker, people like Rowena Fielding, Barry Malt is probably also a good one. There are people out there who are looking to mentor, and they're setting up mentoring groups. And these people will be able to help and start guide you in your journey. Myself in particular, our organisation and a few other people are working on a data protection apprenticeship, which we hope, fingers crossed, will be ready to be released in the summer. The data protection apprenticeship itself will be aimed at the sort of data protection manager level, so that sort of mid-tier level. Obviously, if you can get into an organisation that is going to be running that apprenticeship, that is going to be really, really useful, because you're going to be in there, you're going to be learning, it's going to be on the job. And obviously the apprenticeship is also predominantly funded by the government, so the organisation is getting the benefit, and also you're going to get the benefit as well. There is going to be a way that we can start to bridge that skills gap, but obviously that isn't ready yet. So do keep your eyes peeled if you're going to be interested in that, and hopefully there'll be more information around that apprenticeship coming out soon. Depending on where you are within your career, you can also look for more junior level roles, so assistant level roles. Some organisations will give you the opportunity to take on a role and then learn as you go. But in the most instance, the best thing that you can do is start to look within your own organisation, see where you can develop your skills in-house, see where you can develop your knowledge of your own business, how your own business is processing and using personal data, and then look at how you can expand that out through your networks, expand it out by reaching out to people, attending training courses, learning. It is a gradual process. You can't just pick up a job as a data protection officer straight off the bat. It is going to take time. You are potentially going to need to look at qualifications, because some employers are going to be interested in that. But it is about experience. It's about understanding how the regulation works and what that means for different organisations. So the more hands-on experience and hands-on learning you can do, the easier it's going to be for you to start to forge your role and forge your way in the data protection industry. There is probably a lot more that could be added into this in terms of ways in which people have found their way into the journey. If you want to go and have a look at, there are some stories on this channel, certainly on the Data Protection Diaries part of the channel, where we talk to a lot of people about how they got into roles, how they got into the industry as a whole, and you can start to look at those journeys there. But this is quite a succinct video. If you do have any comments, if you have any comments about your own personal journey, how you got into data protection, if you have any advice for people looking to come into the industry, please do add that down in the comments down below. It would be great to get people's viewpoints on different ways into the industry. As always, if you have any questions, please do let us know, and please do join in the conversation. But for now, we look forward to speaking to you again. Thanks very much.